Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Welcome, kindreds. It's Jessica the Story Witch, and this is an April 2018 Plan With Me video. I've decided to go with a theme of rainbows for this month's theme. I love rainbows. I've always loved seeing them ever since I was a small child, and they are also significant in lots of stories in different cultures. You know, some cultures have different legends and things about them, but I love the legend from the Greek, well, kind of Greek and Roman, with the goddess Iris, and they think the rainbow is the goddess coming back and forth between the human world and the divine. And I just love that idea that it's something traveling to, you know, between the divine and the human. So I love that. So I'm starting out with this month, as I do every month, with I stick something always on the adjacent page to my first page, because I like that it kind of gives me a sort of thicker starting point for the month, and I can tell that from the feel of it, the month starts there. And this is not going to be a very minimal bullet journaling. I do love the look of the minimalist journals, but they just isn't my kind of style. I do like to stick a lot of things in, and I do like to use colour. Although I did go with kind of pastel colours for the rainbow rather than kind of going for the primary colours, because I think that just would have been a little bit too intense even for me. So I also bought some nice washies and to go with this theme as well, which I'm really loving. You'll see those later on as we move further into it. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it that clearly in the video, but on the adjacent page I've taken a page out of the Earth Pathways diary for this year, because even though I bullet journal, I do still buy some diaries, because I do like to take the bits and pieces and ephemera and things out of the diaries to include within my bullet journal, because I know I call it a bullet journal, but it kind of is a kind of crossover between that and my book of shadows as well. I do collect lots of correspondences and useful bits of information things in here as well. So, and I do like to stick in inspirational things that I find from these diaries too. So I can read you actually. It's The Singing Tree by Faith Knowlton. Rain falls, soft as tears from the earth mother's eyes. Another tree is felled, she shudders in grief and pain. Oil spumes forth, her lifeblood silently blackens. Air thickens, stagnates, her gentle breathing falters. Ocean's heat, ice melts, and coldness grips her soul. Gently she rocks back and forth, at one with her moon tides. Her breaking voice pulses through the air, her cry spirals up to the stars. Listen, sway with the drum of her heartbeat. Listen, sing to the music of her drums. Listen, dance to the tune of her spirit. Listen, weave your light into her melodies. Listen, become the healing with your song. So I love that, and I wanted to include it as my kind of starter page for April. And I always include the moon phases on my title page as well. I find that I know I can just kind of refer back there if I need to. And I do include them as well in my dailies, which you'll see later on. I tend to just put the full and the new and the quarter moons on here, and I'm just writing in the dates and the signs that those moons fall in, because I find that information useful. And then we're on to the calendar. And I really liked how my calendar's been kind of working out since my January one, really. I think I was the first time I did this kind of layout. I do quite large boxes. I like to take it over 2 pages, because I like to actually be able to write things in the boxes rather than just see which days kind of work out on which dates. And I've carried on with the rainbow theme. So yeah, I'm just adding the colours and things in there. And then down the left-hand side, you can probably see that I'm putting some like extra bars on, because I normally include my tarot card for the month and things on the left-hand side. But this month, I put even more things to include. I'm going to include on this page the deck that I'm using for the month, the card, the stone or crystal and the herb and my focus for the month. And because the moon, because we're in Aries and then we'll be switching to Taurus later on in the month, I've written down the different parts of the body that correspond with those signs. So I've kept it's kind of like a correspondences page, I guess, for April, because I'll be using, you know, all the things that I'm going to be noting down there are things that correspond with April. So really kind of with the zodiac, so with Aries and with Taurus. Obviously, I will be working with other stones and herbs and things through the month as well, but these are kind of like my focus things for this month. I didn't really love how the days kind of worked out. I still don't really love it, but it's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, and I've stuck some washi and things on there as well. So this next page is really simple. This is kind of like my goals page. I do this every month as well. I love this washi. It's like a kind of watercolour and it's matte, so you can actually write on it, which is really cool, because some of them are a little bit shiny and you can't write on them and it just kind of bleeds everywhere, which is really annoying. But this one you can. And yeah, each month I just write in whichever month I will. And then I have like a do list, which I write all my goals on, and then a buy list of things that I'm going to buy that month as well. And I haven't filled this in yet because I'm filming this before April actually starts, and the same with the calendar actually. I haven't filled in a lot of the things that I'm doing on the dates and stuff yet, and any special days and things, but I will be filling those in obviously as before we actually move into April. I wanted to get this video up kind of on time for you guys rather than making you wait for ages. So here I'm making my habit tracker, which has also been the same since January, I think, because I'm finding that this is working really well. Although I think I'm going to change up a little bit the things I'm actually going to track on this one, so I don't fill those in on the video either. And sticking with the rainbows, of course. I'm just adding some more rainbow colours and things in and writing the days and the dates all on there. So yeah, I haven't actually put what I'm going to track yet because I haven't quite finalised in my head, but I am definitely going to keep going with my mood and my energy tracker, which I've been doing for the last few months now, because I'm finding that quite interesting to kind of see how that relates in with there I'm showing my just showing you my one from March. Because yeah, I find tracking the mood just kind of like a graph, you know, it works out quite well. And this is kind of like a spin-off of a spread that I did last month for March. It's a gratitude and a going outside tracker, because part of my goal for this year is to get outside more. My word for the year is emerge, which isn't just to do with going outside, but that is definitely part of it. So I'm going to go outside every single day this year, regardless of what the weather is like. So I've been tracking that each month, and this month I thought it'd be kind of cool to use like a cloud as the centre, and then each of the bands of colour is a day. So so once I've kind of filled in that on the one page will be the gratitude tracker, because I always have a gratitude tracker each month, and then the other side is my going outside tracker. And I just thought this looks really nice. It might be a little bit maybe full on for some people, but I think it does look really, really pretty, and I'm really looking forward to filling this in. The one I did for March was like a sunshine with all the sunbeams coming off it, and I think I'm really liking how that has turned out as well, so I think I'm going to enjoy how this one is. And I'll try and share like pictures of my finished spreads as well on Instagram, because obviously I know that I haven't quite filled in some of the things on here. So if you'd like to follow me over on Instagram and see those, I'm just the Story Witch, they're the same, so the Story Witch on Instagram. So yeah, some of these are really tiny little letters, but once you're kind of writing, I write then like away from it along the line, so you can fit in quite a lot actually. Yeah, so the one side, like I said, is my going outside, and it just says I went outside too. And then I just fit it in. So we've had snow quite a lot here in March, which seems crazy considering it's supposed to be springtime. So I've been writing things like I went outside and built a snowman with my kids. Yes, things I wouldn't have expected to be writing in March, but it's nice. And I've only actually missed, I think since the start of the year, I've missed hardly any days of actually going out. So it's been really good. And some days I've definitely only gone out so that I can write it in into my bujo. So yeah, it's definitely working for me. Let me know in the comments if you guys like what you track and things, because I'm always interested to know. I'm nosy like that. And then I like to have kind of like a couple of pages about the astrology of the month, and kind of the astronomy as well, really. So I take things, most of these are out of the Astrocal Moon Diary. And if you're interested in any of these diaries and things that I'm pulling pictures out of, I did do a video comparing these diaries as well, so if you're interested you can go back and have a look at that. The picture actually is from, because I keep things as well, you know, round little bits of ephemera. So that's actually out of a diary from a few years ago. That might have been the Earth Pathways a few years ago, actually. I kind of ripped up the page and not remembered exactly where I'd pulled it out of. So yeah, and then I just kind of arranged things how I wanted it. It's got the monthly forecast for what's happening in astronomy and astrology wise. And I like the kind of imagery of the hares on here as well. So I included a couple of hares in the spread. I didn't want to kind of go out all kind of cheesy Easter, although I suppose some people might think rainbows are kind of cheesy, but you know, I think the symbolism of the hare is something that I like to tune into at this time of year as well. So yeah, I like that. I haven't actually put any eggs and stuff. I guess it's kind of weird this year because of the way that Easter falls just at the very start of the month, and with Ostara being with the equinox obviously being in March, but then it's almost like April, the Easter's over and done with really quickly before April got going. But I think that kind of hare energy will carry on going all the way through the month. Yeah, and I just kind of added in a little bit of washi and things to decorate it. And there were a few things that were kind of bothering me. I didn't really like that bright green that was going on the side of the page, so I decided to just cover that up with some of the washi. I think I did actually stick a sticker and things on this page as well after I'd finished filming. So I do tend to still add a few little bits and bobs and stuff. I bought some lovely stickers from Cool Crafts, which I'll link actually, because that's where I got the washi from and stuff as well. And they've got some of the lovely brush script, you know, like the duotone brush script on stickers, which was really nice. So I included a couple of those as well. And then last month I didn't show my daily spread, and a few people asked me about it, so I thought I would show it here on this video. And I do a whole page for every day, sometimes more than a page for every day, because I do include quite a lot of information each day. It's kind of part of my spiritual practice to connect and check in with my bullet journal. And yeah, it kind of keeps me centered and grounded. So I do find, I know for some people they'd find having to do a page every day and do a new spread setup would not be doable. But for me, I do find that it's really, really worth that time investment. And then for each day I include the moon information, the moon sign and the moon, the phase that it is in, and a little bit of kind of the significance of that. And then I take a tarot card every day as well, and I record that in the page. So obviously I'm kind of setting this up in advance, and I do set them up in advance. I set them up the night before, but obviously this is much more than the night before because I wanted to get this video filmed and up onto YouTube, because it takes me such a long time to upload. My computer's just like, no. I don't know if it's my computer or whether it's like the internet connection or what, but it does take a long time. And then the other side of the center, I just like to have a notes section, so it's kind of like a little journal space. Oh, this is something that I saw in one of the bullet journal groups on Facebook, which is so cool, which is a daily draw tracker, and it was from Jess Roller over on Tarot Seed. So yeah, that was a really cool spread, and this is just my walkthrough of my April bullet journal. So like I said, there's definitely more things that I need to fill in, but the kind of framework is all there ready. And yeah, and I'm really pleased with it actually. I think it looks really cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you've got any questions or anything. I'll try and include all the stuff. And yeah, warmest blessings guys, and I will see you very soon.